Hello, Moonbeams, and welcome back. This is Mystic Moon School, and I am Donna XO, your astrology guide. I wanted to come on today and do a shorter form, well, we'll see how short it is, but a shorter form podcast for you to give you the context of Pluto moving into Aquarius, which is happening tomorrow on Tuesday, November 19th, 2024. And give you a bit of a context for what this means for us, both more personally and for the collective. I'm going to give you a little context of Pluto as a planet and what it's all about, and also Aquarius. And this is going to be an excerpt from what some of the materials that I've taught at my moon school, and what I'm hoping to be in a workbook that is going to be available to you come January 2025. But this will give you a little preview of my style and how I explain the signs and teach the signs. So I will be reading an excerpt from that. But before we get to that, I just want to say, if you would like to work with me one-on-one, I offer many different chart readings over on my website. You can hop on over there and check those out and book with me through the website. And I will be offering a new reading very soon where we're going to be looking at the divine feminine energies in your chart, specifically looking at the 4 feminine archetypes that are found in the asteroids, the moon, and Venus in your chart. And there's even more depth to that, but that's a basic overview. So that will be coming soon. And also, yes, I have a free guide for you on my website. If you are interested in working more closely and personally with the moon and her phases each and every month. And so whether you are a man or a woman, it is really healthy, and it is really empowering to learn the moon cycles and work with the cycles each and every month. You can go on to my shop, download this for free, print it out, and work with this each and every month, time and again. It'll be the best free resource that you have. You will utilize it for many, many months to come until this becomes part of your regular lifestyle. I also have on my shop, if you're interested, a calendar for 2025 featuring dogs and cats that depict the different signs for each and every month. But what I've included in the monthly dates are the moon phases. So if you buy the calendar, you will have exactly those moon phases by date, and then you will use my free guide as a companion to really work with it in a very tangible way, if you are interested in that. Okay, so I would like to first start by talking about Aquarius as a sign, as an archetype. And I pulled some cards from my deck that I specifically thought could embody some of this Aquarian energy. And I used my unicorn deck because, to me, unicorns are quite Aquarian. They're so unique, aren't they? One of a kind. And that is quite Aquarian. So I'm going to read to you now a bit of an excerpt from my workbook that I'm creating. And this is what I've taught in Moon School about Aquarius. So Aquarius is an air sign. It is a masculine, fixed sign. The air signs are all about the mind, our thoughts, our beliefs, our mental processing, our learning, ideas. The whole realm of the mind is the air element. Aquarius rules the 11th house in the chart, and Aquarius is ruled by Uranus. Now, Uranus is the modern ruling planet of Aquarius, and Saturn is the ancient ruling planet of Aquarius, which is really fascinating to me because they are so opposing in their natures, both Saturn and Uranus. I'm really going to focus more on the modern ruling planet for this podcast. I'd like to do a deeper dive as we start to move into this energy. But for now, we're just going to stick with Uranus being the modern ruling planet of Aquarius. Aquarius is the water bearer, but the water flowing from that ancient jug is divine knowledge. These are the ideas, inspirations, innovative concepts, epiphanies, and sparks of genius that flood our minds from the connection we have to our higher selves, our divine guidance. These divine inspirations are high frequency, even electric, the way we download them, and much like getting a pitcher of cold water dumped on us, we are shocked awake and into a deeper knowing that cannot be undone. Once we receive the idea, make the connection, or see the innovation, we expand and cannot go back to our previous unknowing. Aquarius wants truth, authenticity, freedom, and originality above all else. Aquarian energy is cosmic, technological, genius, rebellious and revolutionary, and unique. Aquarius is both the authentic and original individual and also the collective group simultaneously. When each individual becomes more of their own unique frequency, then the collective frequency shifts as well. When the individual is most authentically his or herself, then they are able to attract others of their own same frequency. Master your vibe equals attract your tribe. Some of the shadows of Aquarius, because remember, each and every sign is a spectrum of energy. The shadows in and of themselves are not bad, quote unquote bad or negative, but they are opportunities for our growth if we choose that path. It also greatly depends on the context of the shadow, whether or not it is helping us grow, it is supporting us in that context and actually serving us, or if that shadow is creating tension or difficulty or keeping us stuck. Really depends on the context. Some of the shadows of Aquarius energy are a cold detachment, avoidant, codependent, rebel without a clue or a cause, tech and innovation without ethics or moral considerations, no empathy, group think, cultish, a lack of self, or a know-it-all, disconnection from emotions, and a God complex. More of the illuminations. I always, in my the excerpt that I read you, I always write about in prose form the signs in their highest expressions, but as a bullet point list, some of the illuminations are genius, uniqueness, authenticity, community-based, good for all, innovations that serve, healthy detachment, logical reasoning, divine connection, claircognizant, epiphanies and inspirations, futuristic, unique and genuine sense of self, groups, communities, and friendships that consider all and not just a few. Some questions for reflection that I have for you are, what does being your most authentic self mean to you? And it sounds like a simple question, but it's one that I think requires sitting with and maybe even revisiting from time to time, because of course, as we evolve, our authentic self evolves as well. In other words, as we unlearn so much of our conditioning, we reveal more and more of our true authentic selves. And so that true authentic self will grow and blossom and reveal more aspects. And so what your true authentic self may mean in this moment, as you sit with that question, may also change and grow and evolve over time. The other question I have for reflection for you is, how does community show up in your life? And what does community mean to you? And what sort of communities do you feel that you are ready to release and move on from? And what sort of communities are you looking for now? This may be very different for you now. And I invite you to write down, remember Aquarius is an air sign. And so one of the first things we can do on a manifestation journey is to write down, take it out of the mind space, out of our thoughts, and write it down on paper, make it tangible. And so if you are looking for more community in your life, let's get clear on what do those communities, what are the qualities of those communities? What are they? What are you looking for? And so you can sit with that and write them down. And that way you will be able to realize those communities more quickly, I believe. The beautiful unicorn cards that I have up on the screen here are both expansion and freedom. And these are beautiful Aquarian energies. Aquarian, as I read to you before, once you receive that divine download, right, or that epiphany, or make that connection, you expand, and there's no retracting from there. There's no, you can't go back to what you were before you knew the thing, right? And so now that you have the epiphany, now that you make the connection, or you see something or perceive it differently, you have expanded beyond what you were, and there is no going back. So that is a beautiful energy of Aquarius, is that expansion. And what it says on this card is, spread your wings and soar. Actually, this is a Pegasus on the card, not a unicorn. Actually, wow, both of these cards are Pegasus. So I just realized that now. And I love that they are soaring so high up in the clouds, reminiscent of that air element. And so spread your wings and soar, share your message and shine your light. Show the world what you are made of. You know, there is a innate rebelliousness about Aquarian energies that when you really are comfortable in your true authentic self, you don't give, pardon my French, a fuck what anybody else thinks, right? You're just like, you know what, this is me, and my people will find me, and I will find my people. And anyone who doesn't get me, that's okay. They're just not my people, and they can keep moving on their path, and I will keep moving on my path. And so when you reach that level, right, when you can really embody that Aquarian energy, where the most important thing for you is to be in alignment with your true authentic self, then you really truly, that's where that healthy detachment comes in as well, because you really truly, it's not, it's, there's an irreverence, right, to, well, if you don't understand me, that's okay, but I'm not here to prove to you who I am. I'm here to be who I am and follow my own path and listen to my inner voice and my higher self guiding me. That is the most important thing to keep me in alignment. And that is what I value most. And then that freedom piece, wow, that is really truly an Aquarian energy, because remember that Aquarius is ruled by Uranus, and Uranus is all about freedom and liberation and revolution and rebellion. And sometimes we must rebel to achieve more freedom. Now, that could look like something playing out in your external world that you must rebel from. We will be seeing that without a doubt in the collective. Not only in the United States, we are going to see this play out all over the planet. So please do not be shocked or alarmed that this is happening in a, what I mean by that is, do not lose your hope for the higher vision that the Aquarian energy is helping us to achieve as a collective, as humanity. Because often to achieve freedom, we have to break out of some confine, whether that is in your own mind and your belief system and your conditioning, right? The limiting beliefs that we all hold. It involves some rebellion. It involves some choice, some revolution, some innovation. And that can be difficult. There can be a cognitive dissonance that happens at first, where we just, we can't understand why. Why is this happening? This doesn't make sense. There could be a denial. But what I'm saying to you is, if we are expecting this to happen, both within ourselves and in the collective all over the planet, then we will be able to move through it in a more seamless way. We will say to ourselves, oh, okay, this is right on time. This is the Aquarian energies playing out. And the why is for a greater freedom. The why is for a more equal and a greater sense of, I always have trouble with this word saying it, but equanimity. This is a Buddhist term, but it is a term that means we do not fluctuate so greatly on the extremes that we are able to keep our center among the extremes. And Aquarian energy has a really good ability to do that because of that healthy detachment. And so if we understand the bigger picture, whether it is freedom from our own limitations on a very personal level, or freedom playing out in the collective from our governments, from our systems and structures, whether it is capitalism or the systems of the destructive systems of racism and misogyny and bigotry. These are all systems that are at play on the planet. To seek liberation, to seek freedom, to seek true representation, to seek equality, oftentimes we must rebel and revolt. And that will be happening. So just understand the bigger picture, that this is towards a more loving, free, world for each and every one of us. There is a beautiful outcome. I want to take a step out even further and just share with you that we are all here at this time on the planet. Our souls chose to be here. And if you follow some of the larger cycles of really of consciousness, of humanity, of the cosmos, you will learn that we are at the end of a cycle that is thousands and thousands of years old. It is called the precessional cycle. We are at the turning of the ages. This is extraordinary. This is extraordinary that we are here at this time. And so we are going through a very deep release of energies that in some traditions they call the big sleep or the darkest time in humanity. And we are actually entering into a new golden age where there is remarkable innovation. There is love and light on mass scales where we can come into more unity consciousness, where there is far, far, far less separation. So all of the things that have separated us, that we have, let's put it this way, that our consciousness has had to work through in separation, we are releasing those limitations and we are seeing ourselves as one. And this is a beautiful age for us all. So allow whatever needs to kind of revolt and rebel, allow that to play out. If you feel that you are called to revolt and rebel against certain things in your own life, in your own communities, of course, follow your own path, but always do it with the highest expression of love. And I mean that quite literally. Because if you are rebelling and revolting in the energy of hate and divisiveness and harm towards oneself or others, then that is not the illumination. That is the shadow. And that is not what Aquarius energy is about. Unity ultimately is in the highest expression of love. So, the next slide I want to show you, I believe, really depicts both the Pluto energy and more of the Aquarian energy. So the Pluto energy is about rebirth. Pluto energy is about evolution. And the thing about evolution is that if you are evolving into a new version, right, a new level of consciousness, a new ability, a new talent, a new knowing, a new perception, doesn't that also mean that something is dying? That something is no longer relevant? And so there is a rebirth here happening with Pluto. When Pluto first moves into a sign for good, there can be a big upheaval because Pluto is, I always picture Pluto energy as a crane that wants to dig deep into the earth because we are building a new foundation. So if you have ever seen a crane digging up the earth because they're going to build a new building there, right? They need to dig down into the earth because that is where they're going to pour the foundation on, the new foundation. And that is how I see Pluto energy, because we are ripping up the ground where we stood. And that can be quite unsettling, like, not gonna lie, right? I mean, and there is a destruction that is happening there. And so that is part of the Pluto energy. It can feel destructive, but it's not simply destructive energy for the sake of destroying anything in its path because it can, right? That could be a real deep, dark shadow energy of Pluto, because all of the planets are a spectrum as well. But ultimately, though, it is to unearth truth. It is to unearth whatever is not serving all. I want to remind you that Pluto is the outermost planet, and Pluto is mostly concerned with our collective consciousness and the evolution of this. Now, it's not to say that Pluto does not work on an individual basis. It absolutely does. And if you're interested, leave a comment if you would like me to do Pluto in the 12th house, in the 12 signs, and where this will be showing up. If you're interested in that, I will do a podcast for you on that. But Pluto is really working at a collective level. But we can look closer where is showing up in your chart, where this Aquarian energy is happening in your chart, and where this rebirth will be happening for you. Friendship is the other card here. I love this card. And isn't it interesting how both of these cards are in the same color spectrums? This warm, very warm color palette. It really has a sense of either sunrise and or sunset. It's a very warm color palette, and it has a beautiful, for me, it has beautiful sacral energy. The sacral chakra is all about our creativity, our sexuality, our that deep well of birthing, right? And creating something brand new. And this friendship card is so beautiful. We have here another unicorn with a little squirrel sitting up on it, the back of its neck. And this card is saying to seek out your soul family, surround yourself with positive people, and spend more time socializing. This is truly Aquarian energy. Find your tribe, right? The more you can become your true authentic self and live in that frequency of your truth, you will call in your soul family. You will be meeting those people who resonate where you resonate. And you can come together in community. You can come together in community, whether that is through friendship and fun and socializing and, really, really having fun together. And it can also be in a more purpose-filled community where you are living out where you feel called on your path to serve. Because Aquarian energy is very much about how can I be of service? And so you may be doing that with your friends. I want to share with you just something that I have been thinking about for several months, and I finally signed up just last week. And so I feel this is really in line for me with my Aquarian energy. And that is that I have a beautiful local arboretum. I really love gardening. I'm a Capricorn moon, and so I love digging in the dirt. And I said, you know what, finally, I'm gonna take that step, and I'm gonna start to. They have a beautiful volunteer program at this arboretum, and so I feel that that is a way that I can give back and serve, be of service, but also meet like people, right? Who also really enjoy working with the plants and the flowers and just giving back in that beautiful way. So that's just an example. I feel like this has really just touched on the subject. I hope this has given you some idea of this beautiful Aquarian energy that is on tap for all of us. If you're interested in me doing a podcast where I go into the 12 signs, let me know in the comments, and I'll get right on it. Okay, guys, I am sending you so much love. I want to thank you for listening, and please share this video with anyone who you think might be interested. Thank you so much for your time, your energy, and I will see you soon under the moon. Bye-bye for now.